Be a patriot, support us. Take your Patriot t-shirt. Link in description. Thank you and God bless you and America. Stunning. President Trump just did something big and surprised senior citizens. Obama is furious. Read more. Question: the 3 things that leftists perform best are? Reply: deception, redirection, and sleight of hand. Lift the cover on a leftist, progressive, Democrat, liberal, fascist, communist, or socialist. They are practically indistinguishable nowadays, and Americans will see a very ugly bride. There is no real way to reduce the stun when the window ornament is hauled aside and individuals discover surprisingly that those behind all the double dealing are the very individuals who are accusing every other person while their general surroundings break down. It resembles viewing a terrible blood and gore flick and you're shouting at the motion picture screen, "Don't open that entryway." But the on-screen character dependably opens the entryway. The same is valid for Democrats. You're shouting at them, "Don't challenge a man who's is maintaining migration law." But the Democrats will at present dissent and even out and out assault the president. They did likewise with the restriction on Social Security beneficiaries who happen to have an intermediary recipient for their advantages for therapeutic reasons. Rather than simply conceding reality, that they needed to take more firearms from residents, they concocted a faltering explanation behind restricting weapons from Social Security beneficiaries. The old individuals were not rationally steady and in this way couldn't be trusted with weapons. However, now, Breitbart, on a day when legislation benefiting women and black colleges and universities was signed with much pomp and circumstance, President Trump quietly followed through on his pledge to defend this Second Amendment by signing the repeal of Barack Obama's Social Security gun ban. The U.S. House voted to repeal the ban on February 2 and the Senate voted to repeal it on February 15. Along these lines, fundamentally, Barack Hussein Obama took away weapon rights from more than 4 senior subjects. I figure he figured they didn't have long to live under Obamacare rules. This is the sort of thing that really gets under liberal skin. Nearly as awful as when Trump signed that one. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comments section below. Share the truth, be patriots. Thank you for reading. Developing. A staggering national poll just announced, even President Trump is surprised. Details. With a shriveling broadside at the as of late finished up Conservative Political Action Conference, PAC, and Friday's forbidding of some unfriendly tip-top media outlets from a standard preparation, clearly, the media's war on President Donald Trump has been joined. Bigly. The mainstream media, MSM, painted an objective on President Trump back when he was competitor Trump and they all of a sudden understood that A. He had a genuine shot at winning, and B. He was remaining with normal Americans against the dynamic elites in Washington, D.C. What's more, New York. From that point forward, they have done everything in their impressive energy to undermine the president and, by expansion, the thriving and autonomy of the American individuals. While free media is fundamental to a just society, what happens when the media turns into the purposeful publicity arm of the worldwide elites? Indeed, the American individuals recently addressed that question. And the worldwide elites must be panicked. The whole has the creating subtle elements. A majority of Americans believe news organizations are too critical of President Trump, according to a Wall Street Journal, NBC News poll released Sunday. 51% of Americans said the media is too critical of Trump, while 41% think news organizations have been fair and objective. The poll also found that Americans are becoming more optimistic about where the country is headed, with 40% saying it is headed in the right direction. In December, 33% felt that way, compared to 18% in July. Obviously, the MSM will do all that they can to ruin or overlook this poll. Unfortunately for them, surveying reflects what individuals as of now trust more than it persuades them. In the war to paint Donald Trump as hostile to American and a danger to our lifestyle, it would appear that they have officially lost. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comments section below. Share the truth, be patriots. Thank you for reading. T Patriot Journal. Mammoth Deems scandal just erupts. Deems caught colluding with Muslims to take down President Trump. Details. House PCs were apparently gotten to by 5 Pakistani IT professionals, who were not approved for this, and stole significant gear. In any case, what they figured out how to discover was valuable and intriguing data. The 5 professionals figured out how to take 4 million in benefit, and some of this cash originated from agents who utilized their administrations less oftentimes. In-house, the yearly collaborators' compensation adds up to $43,000. Still, one of the suspects, Imran Awan, earned $1.2 million since 2010. Every one of the 3 of the suspects is siblings, and 2 of their spouses are likewise required for the situation. Their names are Imran, Jamal, and Abid, Hina Elvi and Natalia Sova. These suspects were utilized by the accompanying elements: Jim Costa, D. California, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, DFL, Tim Ryan, DO, Yvette Clark, DNY, and 27 others. All names recorded above are Democrats and hold high positions on intelligence committees. One of the spouses, Hina, was the most required of them all. She once in a while went to work, however was the most paid of all. Meanwhile, her better half Imran, would take her around to the workplaces. However, before long, he halted, notwithstanding setting up the hallucination, and did all that stuff himself. Right now, all siblings are situated in Pakistan. One of the siblings went bankrupt in 2012, yet at the same time remained by one means or another rich. This investigation needs to commence promptly, and crooks, for example, these must be endorsed as per injustice. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comments section below. Share the truth, be patriots. Thank you for reading. Gigantic scandal just erupts. Huge proof that Obama and Hillary stole from America, taxpayers revolted. Democrats are extraordinary at ascertain something, stealing citizen dollars. Affirm, so it's not generally robbery, some of the time, they simply hole up behind incalculable help projects and deplete the pockets of each persevering American, and after that call it advance. Be that as it may, there are times when it totally is robbery. You may review that entire Israel/Obama/UN calamity toward the end of last year, correct? And after that Obama pivoted and tried to pass off a flagrant deception, which insiders later uncovered. Presently, on an apparently random note, you will obviously recollect all the reported confirmation that connections the crooked Clintons to a wide range of misused assets, and this incorporates an unequivocal Russian association. Goodness, however, the issues are connected. In what capacity, you inquire? They both include degenerate government officials getting and utilizing cash in ways they shouldn't. What's more, now, an immense new embarrassment has broken, which includes both Hillary Clinton and previous President Barack Obama, as spotted at Reddit. Both of these messy government officials abused citizen reserves and different monies for different purposes. This incorporates unseating Benjamin Netanyahu, coincidentally, so that by itself demonstrates the Democratic Party's contempt for Israel. Basically, the Obama State Department gave one voice about $350,000, then one voice made the V-15 battle to restrict Bibi's decision in Israel. More from the New York Post: U.S. taxpayer funds intended to aid peace efforts between Israelis and Palestinians ended up aiding a campaign to defeat Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, according to a Senate report released Tuesday. On top of which, confirmations say citizen assets were utilized to promote the reasons for both Hillary and Barack, which is sufficient to make each American see red. This is exactly the sort of thing we should explore. Not regardless of whether Attorney General Jeff Sessions ought to leave since he talked to Russia, if that is even valid. The genuine lawbreakers are ideal here, as they've generally been. Furthermore, the confirmation is heaping up. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comments section below. Share the truth, be patriots. Thank you for reading. Bombshell. Ted Cruz crushes libs for their fake outrage over Jeff Sessions, video. Democrats have been attempting their hardest to get Jeff Sessions to resign over contact with Russia. Be that as it may, they won't succeed, and Ted Cruz clarifies why. Joe Scarborough inquired as to whether he was worried over Jeff Sessions. Ted said, "I'm not concerned about that. I think what we are seeing is a lot of political theater." Ted Cruz explained, "Could Jeff have been more clear in what he said? Yes. I think that was unfortunate. But I think context matters a lot. Jeff was being asked about the Trump campaign communicating with the Russians. I think he understood that he was answering in that capacity. And that is perfectly understandable." He added, "And the reason I say it's political theater is the underlying meeting. This morning, everyone is in high dudgeon about the meeting. The underlying meeting is a nothing burger. It's what senators do every day, meeting with foreign ambassadors, that's part of the job." Cruz continued, "When this story broke last night, I asked my team to just pull up the calendar for January and February of this year. And I met with 6 different ambassadors in the last 2 months. That's part of being a senator." He then scrutinized liberals who believed that Sessions recusing himself from the examination was an indication of his blame. "I think earlier on the show, you played Jeff Sessions this morning, saying that he would recuse himself where appropriate. I mean, obviously, if there were an investigation into himself, recusal would be appropriate," said Ted. Look at the interview underneath. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comments section below. Share the truth, be patriots. Thank you for reading. H. T. Conservative 100